Question is, the bill be now read a second time. Ms. Joan Pereira.
Mr. Speaker, sir, there have never been a time when our world is more dependent on electricity as our world is today. And it will be even more so in the future when we become a smart nation. The massive power outage we experienced earlier this month is a reminder of how we should not take electricity for granted and how critical it is to secure and protect our power supply and transmission connections. This bill will empower the EMA to direct the expansion of the electricity transmission network to ensure the security and reliability of supply when necessary, including for emergency situations like this. However, the recent blackout highlighted how centralized our operations are and the associated vulnerabilities. I urge the Ministry to consider expediting the setup of independent sources of electricity island-wide to provide backup power for critical installations such as water pumps, elevators, traffic and street lights. In the event of a prolonged outage, these power sources will ameliorate hardships and reduce accidents. I am aware that EMA is looking into the potential of microgrids. These are small electricity networks which are usually connected to a centralized national grid, but that can also operate independently. So far, these are only being tested at the Singapore Institute of Technology and Pulau Ubin. Would MTI and EMA make it a priority to extend these test beds to more areas and institutions? In different parts of the world, the building of microgrids is gaining momentum as governments realize their potential in adding to energy security. They can be found in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, California and New York in the United States, Higashi Matsushima in Japan, just to name a few. A network of small independent electricity grids also offers an alternative in the event of cyber terrorism targeting the national grid. In the US, the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI confirmed earlier this year that state-sponsored hackers had infiltrated the electricity grid. A leading cybersecurity firm had also cautioned about cyber criminals posing a threat to utility operators. Hackers had caused equipment shutdown at a Saudi Arabian oil and gas plant and a smelter in a German steel mill to overload and destroy itself. Next, I would like to request that EMA draw up guidelines to guide staff on how to disseminate information and updates to the public in the event of outages. During the recent blackout, hotlines were inundated and some people were unable to get their calls through. Good communication is important for reducing anxiety and panic among members of the public who have no idea how long the outage would last. Finally, may I ask the Ministry how the rates of the regulated tariffs are decided upon? It is not easy for consumers to decide which electricity retailers to choose from. The open electricity market is a very new concept for most Singaporeans, and many of my elderly residents may get quite confused. They cannot understand how a retailer can sell electricity at a more competitive price than the wholesale market. Would MTI be able to provide them advisory services, as this would be very useful for the senior citizens to make an informed choice? Sir, I would like to conclude with my support for the bill. Thank you.